Could you ask for better weather this time of year?
No, it was absolutely awesome. You know, it's actually both scrimmages we've had the first one on Saturday. We had a lightning delay, so we had to stay away, but we got it in, and then this one we got almost 50 plays with each group, and then today we got about 25. It's time we're playing with our fourth, fifth, sixth corner, and you know that time of year when you're doing all that stuff. But the team's grown up. We got a lot more to do. Today probably favored the defense a little bit. Offense, you know, we've been holding people like Wes Harris out, and some of those people need to run people up. How do you make your whole team get reps? And so you started with 9 D tackles, we're down to 4 D tackles. So we'll get a couple back, but it's the usual fall camp. So Saturday we break, and then you got 2 weeks of getting back into school and doing things and get ready to go. So, but it's we like a lot of things. Like all coaches, I'm not happy overall where we got to be, but we're better. We got some guys in good places and go from there. So
overall, health-wise, how's things looking?
For 2 weeks and almost 26 opportunities when you count walkthroughs and practices, pretty decent. I mean, I think the only guy that probably will be out for a long time is Mikael Barkley. So he had a leg injury. Outside of that, everybody should, at some point in time, Noah Daniels is still behind where we need to be leg-wise. So outside of that, we got to get Caesar back. I'm trying to think of anybody. Coop hasn't really practiced yet, so but he's starting to work into it, so that'll be a good thing. And Soros, so we'll get 2 D tackles back, plus BC at some point in time. Probably George will be out for a while. Wide receiver wise, probably just Barkley. So everybody else I think will get. Conrad's had a good camp. D. Davis, Tay Barber's just starting to get back into it. Offensive line, Brandon Coleman, Marcus Williams really need to come along. Our number 2 tackles, we got to have guys that can step up. They've got to keep getting better for us to make it through the season. And Easy and Cooper have done pretty good. You know, defensive-wise, our ends have really come on. So, we'll need that to happen here in the season. So, it's one of those things where it's Jamoy Hodge has been out, but it's good because all those young linebackers have had to play. I'll just tell you how young we are. So Saturday night we have talent show. That's anybody that's never done talent at our place. Out of 113 guys that are in camp, 50 guys have to do talent show. So they either didn't do talent show last year because of COVID when they were freshmen, or they're freshmen or a walk-on. And so we had, almost half of our team is less than a sophomore. And so there's a lot of growing, but they've done great. They practiced hard. We're ready to be honest with you, I think they're ready for this to break. I am for sure. And get into one of days and get ready for Duquesne and then Cal Berkeley, then SMU. So.
Gary, speaking of COVID, when you saw the Big 12 new policy, does that change how you work the depth chart at all? Just knowing who's vaccinated, who isn't?
Well, almost. We only have maybe 15 guys in our whole team that are not vaccinated.
Okay.
That includes coaches, everybody in our staff, everybody on the staff, trainers, equipment people, all of it, and players. We only have I think we have less than 10 scholarship guys that are not vaccinated. So this team is that, and so we got to move forward. I mean, I'm not only if I got the J&J, but I'm going to get my second one in Moderna. And whatever else you can give me, I don't care about getting it. I just don't want to miss work. So.
Is there an effort to get those other 15 vaccinated?
Oh yeah, I mean, but we've done a good job of all that stuff. So some of that is family, some of that is health history. Where there's we've had doctors. We didn't force anybody to do that. It's all about understanding the pros and cons of what's going on. So it's for us, it's close contact. Losing a guy, whether you have it or not, you're close contact, you're out for 10 days, and you miss 2 ball games. If you haven't been vaccinated, it's not so much the other part. That's what our kids, the biggest thing is losing that. So.
With the Big 12's ruling that missing time will cause a forfeit, cause a loss? Is that influencing things right
It should
now?
have been that way last year.
Yeah.
So,
Gary, going back to the defensive ends, is Horton? Can you just talk about his growth and is Dylan Horton and is Kyrie Coleman pushing him for the starting
no,
spot?
actually, Kyrie, they're just both ones. Kyrie didn't play today because of a calf. He got kicked in the calf a day ago. It swelled up. So but last night, I think, which I'm not sure this is a good bet, we had 11 sacks in our pass stuff. So the ends have come on. That means the tackles will get better, to be honest with you. Usually when one side gets better, then the other side gets better, then the other side gets better. That's how you become a good football team. If you have one side that's not very good, then to be honest with you, then you don't get better as a team. So you have to have competition. So, but yeah, we felt that. And I'll tell you the other guy, we feel good about our four ends. Chris Murray from Wichita Falls, him and Landon both have had, and especially Chris, he reminds me a lot of an LJ. To be honest with you, he's faster, but not quite as powerful. But he's just a freshman. But he's got a tremendous upside. Him and Landon both do. So I think it's Corey Bethley has to get back in shape. He hasn't been out for a year, so we played him extra reps today. He's got to get in shape. It's going to be great to have Coop back. Probably at the D tackle, Earl Marquette has probably had the best fall camp, to be honest with you, of all of them. So, and then D Winters has been great. To be honest with you, Wyatt Harris has really stepped up since Jamoy's been out. So has Zach Marchicelli, and the guy that's going to be a great player is my man from North Shore, wide receiver that went to linebacker.
Thanks.
Banks.
Oh,
He just doesn't know where he's going all the time yet. So we're getting there. The young safeties are fantastic. I mean, our safety group has got a really good chance, but we've got it's hard to go from a second round draft pick and free agent to sophomores. So we've been working at it. We've been really focusing in on making them better and getting them where we need to get to. So
You said you felt more comfortable with the quarterback group. Has anyone separated themselves as Max's backup yet?
I'd probably tell you that, to be honest with you, Downey has been right now the number 2 guy, and Sam's been coming on him, and Chandler's a good player. We need to move forward. But Downey's had a really good camp, to be honest with you.
How about Zach Evans? How does he look at
Good.
running?
Running backs are good. Mark Foster's starting to get back in after his leg injury. We just, it's just keeping them healthy right now. Make sure they're healthy. So
You mentioned Barkley's foot or being out. I saw him in boot. Who stepped up in that role with him being out?
Conwright, Marcel Brooks is going to have to. He didn't go today because of a body injury. Quincy Brown, all those guys will have their opportunity. Plus, you'll probably see D. Davis and Tay Barber play outside some because of their speed. So they're older, so they can learn more positions, so it's easier. So
Is there any added juice to the Texas and Oklahoma games this year?
no, I mean right now, Duquesne, Cal Berkeley, SMU, then Texas. I mean,
Very, very politically correct answer.
oh no, you would have got that if you've been around me for 40 years. You know that's the same answer you always get. You can call it political, but it's,
Big picture-wise, Gary, you guys are unranked, but obviously you got a lot of talent coming back. You got a junior quarterback. Do you feel like you're kind of flying under the radar, so to speak?
I don't know. We're going to find out when we start playing.
Mm-hmm.
If you get everybody healthy and you're playing well, then you see what happens. But just like in 17, you got to play yourself into people.
You mentioned young.
Do players notice that though? Not being ranked or just receiving
I don't
those who
know.
have that?
I'm sure they do. They notice everything else.
You mentioned young safeties. Has anyone started to stand out in that group?
Well, no, I mean, there's a bunch. We got 11 or 12 of them. So it's, but the older guys that have played, TJ Carter's a step, and Luke Bradford at the week, our 2 frees, but and also McEwen and Josh Foster, actually, for a guy that nobody knew, has had a great fall camp. Him and McKendrick, but Josh Foster's had a great camp. Our 3 new guys, Kamara, Armstead, and Diarco, are going to all really. We did not miss on any of them. All 3 of them are very athletic as young safeties. So every day we just keep working at it.
You mentioned one of the players being out, George. Are you talking about Spivey?
George hasn't
Ellis.
tackled.
Okay, Ellis. So how's Spivey look?
Spivey's been now he missed a couple things today, but it's been a pleasant surprise. We just got DJ back, as we only had one guy in the whole team that ended up with COVID when we came back, and it was him. And he came to the West Coast. So, but outside of that, so he's just got back into everything here. So
Spivey, does he kind of give you a blend of what Artavius and Pro?
yeah, I
Rev would
mean,
give you?
he's a 6'6" guy that can run. But to be honest with you, he's really a smart football player. Really, to be honest with you, he's a very smart football player, and it's going to allow us to be very versatile with him, doing things we have because of his size. So.
And you've talked about conference realignment a little bit in the past or a couple of weeks ago. What are really the deficits of something like that? I know you touched on it a bit.
Well, I don't. For me, I don't. Right now, I'm not going to worry about it. I've been in now. If we have to move again, it'll be 5 conferences. I mean, I've been in. That's what we do. My job is to win. For us, we are very marketable from a lot of standpoints. And so, from an academic university to what we put into this university, from a facility standpoint to the level of play that we play, and go about our business. And so, it's what I found out. A lot of times, that matters. So, we'll let the powers to be. It's kind of like being third and winning 55-3, and you get knocked to 6th. So what do you do about it? Just get up and go, keep going. That's what we do. So
Is it hard to block out just kind of the outside noise?
I gotta be honest with you. You guys don't talk about that stuff. I don't even think about it. I mean, it's right now. I know how I can control what I control, and that's win. If I go 12-0, then people will notice. That's what we need to do. So.
Go 2 more if you have.
All right. No, I'm good.
That's good.
Thank you.